The cruise ship Hondius is unlikely to spread hantavirus now that it's docked in the Netherlands for disinfection, but it's not impossible for a ship, even devoid of passengers, to spread disease. In July 1878, the steamboat John D. Porter was making its way up the Mississippi River towing a freight of 14 barges. Gradually, members of the crew began to sicken and die. The captain claimed, whether in an intentional cover up or because he genuinely wished this to be true, that their deaths were the result of, quote, too free use of ice water while overheated. People on shore, however, suspected yellow fever, which can cause a deadly hemorrhagic illness. Wherever crewmen disembarked, the fever spread, and new crew members who boarded became infected themselves. When cities started refusing to let the Porter dock, the captain ordered his crew to cover the boat's name with a canvas to keep it from being identified. But that didn't fool people for long. Legend has it that locals took to patrolling the riverbanks with rifles to chase the Porter away if it came too close to land. Eventually, the crew could sneak ashore only in the dark of night to bury their dead. Finally, the Porter's steam engine broke down, and the crew literally jumped ship and ran off. But the boat itself wasn't done spreading disease. People who came to gawk at or loot it began to fall ill. A woman who wore clothing taken from it came down with yellow fever. Another, who went aboard to rescue some starving birds, died just a few days later. It became clear that the hulk itself was somehow transmitting disease, and it and its barges were eventually towed to Cincinnati and burned. 3 years later, a Cuban doctor named Carlos Finley realized that yellow fever was spread by the bite of infected mosquitoes. The summer of 1871 was unusually hot and humid, and the barges the Porter was towing were half filled with bilge water, making them a perfect breeding ground for flies. Everywhere the boat docked, the mosquitoes dispersed, leaving a trail of disease behind them. The Porter wasn't solely responsible for the epidemic that killed 20,000 people in the Mississippi River Valley that year, but the idea that a ship could become a traveling carrier of disease struck, and continues to strike, fear into the hearts of the public.